So I chose Texas A&M after having visited a number of other colleges and universities, primarily focused in Texas, but I really believed that A&M exhibited probably the best of the best qualities of all of the universities that I visited and was considering at the time. When I thought about the number of different incredibly well-known and reputable colleges within the university and the variety of different majors you could come out of A&M with, it was certainly something that was impactful to me. But then after having spent some time on campus and saw how the student body interacted with each other and the cohesive and the tight-knit community within a school that was fairly sizable in and of itself, that was impactful to me. And then of course, having seen and heard about the incredibly loyal and very tight-knit alumni network that the Texas A&M had, I really wanted to be a part of it for all those reasons. So most of my career has been spent in energy and energy-related publicly listed companies in finance and accounting leadership roles. And if I think about what qualities and characteristics are required for those type of roles, high moral values and a strong moral compass, and that underpins virtually everything in Aggie life and what Aggies expect of each other. And then of course, having the education that Mays and Texas A&M gave me and the things that both of those institutions taught me, which was how to build long-term meaningful relationships, both personally and professional, but also how to critically think and recognize that there are gray areas in business and how to navigate those gray areas. And I couldn't think of a better place for me other than Mays and Texas A&M and how they prepared me for my career. When I think about impactful leaders that I've observed in either public service or in my professional career, one of the key attributes of successful leaders and highly respected leaders is their ability to assemble a qualified team that are experts in their particular functions. But even more than that, the leader needs to be able to assemble those people and solicit their opinions and their ideas and their advice and thoughtfully consider it, not just for show, but actually thoughtfully consider the advice of the people that they trust so much. And then of course, make a timely decision and move forward. I think that those are key attributes of leaders, again, the ones that I've observed in public service that have been highly respected, very successful, and the executives that I've been fortunate enough to work with. Another characteristic, in my opinion, that I work very hard at is making sure that I give the team around me as much or more credit for things that go well. And then I try to take most of the blame for things that could have been done better or could have been done quicker. So making sure that your team feels like they're supported in good times and bad, and also giving them recognition and credit where they deserve it is another key attribute of leadership. Giving back to Mays and Texas A&M is simply a true pleasure for my wife and I. We have a very passionate view that education is a life-changing experience and in many cases can be a cycle-breaking gift for people to achieve. And so we decided a few years ago to endow a scholarship at Mays for accounting students, which provides a full ride for 3 years. Incoming juniors, preferably in the professional program at A&M. And just giving people the opportunity to take a little bit of pressure off of their personal life, not have to work as hard at a job or have 2 jobs, but give them the real ability to kind of be immersed in the A&M culture, which we so appreciated and so valued. And we've had the benefit and the honor, frankly, of having met 2 of the recipients of our scholarships, and that they are incredible people that we're so proud of, and just hope that maybe we did something to help them along the way in terms of their education, their professional careers. To watch the lives that Mays has and will continue to change, and to frankly have been one of those lives that was changed by Mays, is no better reason than to want to and feel compelled to give back to Mays, whether it's with time, talent, or treasure. I think as I look back on what Mays does for people and for individuals, it translates students into high quality and high character people, and it also translates students into professionals that have the capabilities to succeed in one of the most complex and powerful economies in the world. And anything I can do to support Mays, I'll happily do it. There have been many individuals that I've been fortunate enough to be involved with, either in my personal life or my professional life, that I consider key leaders. So many that I think it would be difficult for me to pinpoint one or even a few. But the different qualities and characteristics that I've observed them exhibit over the years, I try to really remember the good, and then also just kind of think about some of the things that maybe they could have done better, and try to apply those in everyday life. And when pressure gets high or deadlines get tight, just stop every now and then, try to reflect on the qualities that I really respected from those people, and try to really embrace those and emulate those. And one of the most key facets, in my opinion, to leadership is building a highly qualified team, giving them the latitude to do their jobs and do it properly, but then recognizing them for their successes. So those are some of the qualities. Again, it would be hard for me to name individual people, but those are the qualities that, some of the qualities that I've really been fortunate to have been able to observe and try to emulate through my career. Young Mays graduates should first and foremost never forget that they are among the most equipped and most educated individuals in the world to succeed in business. So that would be a first reminder that I would suggest that they think about when times get tough or when career paths kind of twist and turn on them. The next piece of advice I'd give a young Mays graduate embarking on a professional career is be prepared for the twists and the turns that your career may show you along the way. And while you think you may have one path charted out in your mind, you may have an opportunity to go do something different, or something a little bit different than maybe you thought your next step was going to be. And really strongly consider those, and if you accept them, embrace them. The other thing that somebody told me along the way, it was a well-respected mentor of mine. He said, it's not as much about the end point as it is the journey, talking about careers. And he was in fact one of the individuals that suggested a role to me, or wanted me to fill a role for him and for the board of directors that wasn't necessarily the role I would have taken. But with hindsight and really looking at the experience that I got in that role, it's unquestionably one of the things that prepared me for future roles, in which I'm very grateful for. So never look at one path and it must be this or it must be that. Be willing to embrace the twists and the turns, and really make the most of them if you choose to accept them. I would hope that people would remember me in a professional setting, and really even personally as well, as somebody who gave them an opportunity to succeed. I think that is perhaps one of the most impactful things that you can do for an individual, that would be an intangible type of a characteristic or a quality in a person, is giving them an opportunity to succeed, recognizing talent and encouraging that talent and rewarding it, and making sure that those people have a path to future development. So I would hope that whether it's through financial means or opportunities or new roles, or hiring somebody, that I'd be remembered as somebody who gave an opportunity to better someone else. And again, most of the work is on the individual to better themselves, so I take very, very little credit in those opportunities and the future success of those individuals. But I would hope that people would remember me for somebody who is willing to give them a shot and give them an opportunity to succeed. It is incredibly humbling, and with a deep sense of humility that I think about being recognized in this way by Mays. I look at the people who come before me in this award in years past, and it's an incredibly professional, very well-respected group of individuals that I'm just frankly honored to be a part of. But more than the recognition of me and or my career or what I have done for Mays is, more important than that for me is recognition of the people that have supported me throughout my life and kind of shaped me into the the person or the professional that I am today. And first and foremost would be my parents, Walt and Joanne. They worked really hard, made a lot of sacrifices to put my brother and I through college, of course, which is a foundation of the success that I've had today. My brother Randy, he's a couple years older than I am, and he did a really nice job of perhaps paving a pretty smooth road for me to walk along as a young adult. And although we went down two different, very different professional paths, he's a doctor and I'm in accounting and finance, but there was always that instant credibility of being Randy Brauchle's little brother, and so I'm grateful for that. And he also showed me at a young age, young adult age, of how to take care of your business and succeed in what you do professionally, but save time to have fun. And we continue to do that today together, which I'm very grateful for. And then of course my wife Maren, who over the last 20 years since I've known her has been nothing but an unwavering supporter of mine, both personally and professionally, and she's been more confident in me sometimes than maybe I have when we're considering different career moves or life moves, etc. And so I'm always grateful for that. And those four people, frankly, probably deserve this award as much or more than I do. It's difficult for me to think about leaving a legacy. That just seems like something that's far more important than perhaps I am. But the way I would want someone to remember me is somebody who gave a person an opportunity that they well deserved and then allowed them to succeed. And that could be a new hire, promoting somebody into a different role, giving them a professional development opportunity that maybe otherwise they wouldn't have been able to receive, or the recipients of our scholarship at Mays Business School in the accounting department. Hopefully that's an opportunity for those recipients that they can capitalize on and really get the most out of their Aggie education, both academically and culturally. So just remembering my wife and I as people that gave them an opportunity to succeed would be hopefully what people would think of us, both personally and professionally.